everybody. It's Georgia Rose. Welcome to the Soul Space. It's Monday, June 6th, June 5th, June 5th. So welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Are you excited? Did you miss me last week? I was not live in the studio. I actually pre-recorded. It was Memorial Day weekend, and I had a great weekend. I hope you guys did too. So tonight we're going to have a great show. I'm going to put the phone lines open right away in a few minutes anyway. Because I would love to have you guys call in and tell me all about your revelations from the full moon in Sagittarius. I'm just seeing Bobby out of the corner of my eye, fixing some equipment in the studio. He's always so busy. The Bobby never sleeps. So I'm going to open those phone lines. And as you guys all give you a chance to pile in, I am going to share the show. You guys know the drill. We spend the first couple of minutes every week sharing the show. So if you could share it, I would absolutely love you. And tonight, I'm going to open the phone lines because I want to hear all about your weekends and if you had any revelations on this full moon. Okay. So share my show wherever it can be, wherever it can happen. And also make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel on Zencuda. You can find me on Instagram on Zencuda Official and Facebook on Zencuda Georgia Rose. So I'm looking in the monitor. I'm always distracted when I look at myself. And I always wonder how Megan Kelly does it. She always looks so professional and she must be seeing herself and she doesn't look in the monitor, but I always do. So anyway, I'm looking in the monitor and my hair looks so absolutely flat. And my hair was so fluffy like 10 minutes ago. I walked from my car to the studio, really humid where I live here in northern New York, northern part of the United States. And look at my hair. See, so everyone has a bad hair day, even us psychics and light workers. You think we could perform miracle on our hair, but we don't. So who have I got on the show so far? Who's piling in here to my soul space? Going to say hello to all of you ladies and gents, my soul sisters and my soul misters. Who have I got here? I got Sarah. Hey, Sarah. I got Marie, Ann, Janine. Yeah, you're all piling in with my fluffy, weird hair. Thank you so much for not noticing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our astrology today. Not much, though, because I want to jump right into some other things. And I want to talk a little bit about how I got into astrology because I get a lot of calls and questions about that. So I'm going to tell you that story tonight. So this week is actually a pretty quiet week astrologically. We don't have any real superpower days until next Sunday. So this is a great week for introspection. On Wednesday, we're going to have a little bit of the repeat energy that we had last week before the full moon came in with that, grand cross and square that we had, a little bit of that intensity. So I'm really curious to see if you guys had anything revealed or revelations, truths coming in, because I know most of the people that I've been around have really had some deep things going on. This week, we do have a couple of things that egress or change signs. We've got a lot of growth this week with coming off that full moon in Sagittarius. Venus goes into Leo, and it's going to actually be in Leo, Venus, my beautiful planet of love, until September. Usually Venus is not in a sign that long, but it retrogrades while it's there. Venus in Leo is actually can be a fun energy if you don't take it too extreme. For those of my Leo lions out there in the Zencuda Soul Space tonight, you know what I mean. You guys are really passionate and you love to be flamboyant and show your PDA. So we may have some conflicts out there in the world as our Leo lions are really getting their powerful Venus on, especially with Mars in meeting up with Venus in that sign of Leo. So think fire, all right? Leo is fire. It's the lion heart. So when Venus, the sign of love and the things that we love is there, it's really an energy of passion. It's an energy sometimes of overdoing. Sometimes we can be too passionate. The lion likes to be super powerful, roar and growl and, go after his prey, right? So the life lesson of Leo, you've heard me say it before on the show, is power of love is much better than the love of power. So for the next little while, at least until September, while Venus is sitting there in that Leo energy, it's going to also oppose Pluto at some point, and it's going to have a little bit of a shaking and a rocking and a rolling this summer. So it will be a fun summer. It'll be a summer of love, but it's not going to be a calm summer. It's going to be passionate and fiery. Usually when Venus is in Leo, it means that we do have a lot of fire in the sky, a lot of fire in heat waves and hot energy, hot temperatures. So let's see if that comes true. We also have Pluto this week retrograding back to Capricorn. That actually happens on the 11th, which is Sunday. Sunday is a real power day. But Pluto going back into Capricorn gives us a chance to finish up all the things Pluto has been rerouting us on for the last 15 years, that planet of transformation, that planet that has been kind of dissolving our structures, not just in a bad way, but also in a way of growth. So, as I said, really big growth week here. And then Mercury is going into Gemini. Mercury in Gemini, before it heads into Gemini, it actually trines um, some planets that make it very powerful. So this is actually a week where communication is going to take place very quickly and a lot of it. So I would suggest, especially if you are a fire or an air sign, I would suggest you kind of maybe don't respond so quickly. Maybe think about what you want to say. Because in this kind of energy, especially for our fire and air signs, you may shoot from the hip and regret what you say. So, this is an energy where communication does come in fast and furious. There's going to be even a lot of communication in our own minds, and it'll probably be a very busy news week. But we also have planets starting to slow down and become retrograde. And that's when we get redos. And usually, when the energy is like this, it means that we do something that we screw up a little bit, especially with our words and our communications, and we end up having to do them over again or apologize or have a redo. So be really careful about your words this week. But it is good because we're coming out of all that Earth. We got a couple of planets moving out of the Taurus energy that we've had for so long. So you're going to feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more, able to not so much overwhelm. It's going to not be such a heavy energy. You're going to be feeling a little bit more able to cope with things. The one thing I will caution you all about in this week, because of certain aspects that are happening, this is a week where you may find jobs ending, careers ending, layoffs, sometimes unexpectedly. But what I can tell you with a chart in the sky like this is when those things happen, they happen to open a door for you. It's not necessarily a situation where it's a real ending. It's ending a contract, ending something, ending a karmic contract in order to bring you where your soul is really going to be more aligned. So just know and trust the universe this week. Very important to do. And that's going to happen because we have something in the sky called Thor's hammer. And Thor's hammer is definitely an ending type of energy. I'm not going to go into the technical aspects because you guys will have your eyes rolling into the back of your heads. So, but just suffice it to say that we're going to have quite a bit of energy that is a hard aspect, especially on the 8th, which I think is Thursday, when the nodes of fate are kind of in play, and that's the north and south node of the moon, and that is your destiny. It's all of us, as I've been saying since the beginning of this year. 2023 is the year that we are going to be pushed into what we are meant to do as our soul wants to do, our spiritual beings living in our full potential. And either that's going to be really gentle with ease because you've been doing the work to get there all these years, or you're going to be dragged a little bit kicking and screaming there. But I guarantee you, this energy by the end of 2023, you'll be in a completely different place than you were when you started the year. And for good reasons, even if it is uncomfortable and it doesn't feel good at first, or you're really having trouble finding your way, just lean back into the energy, allow it to bring your feelings and sensations into your body, into your mind, into your heart, and know that you're being brought somewhere for a reason. Don't ask, why is this happening? Ask, where is this bringing me? Because there's definitely a yellow brick road to follow if you just find it. Um, so we also have Mercury meeting a asteroid in the sky called Vesta. This is a very nurturing type of energy. It's also sacred fire. So especially with Venus going into Leo this week, you want to really light that inner fire. We just had a Sagittarius full moon, lighting the fire, lighting the intensity. We all know I say that all the time as well. Fire can be used to nurture and provide. It can be used to source things, a source of fuel, or it can be used to burn the house down. So it's up to you how you choose to use your fire. But this is a great week for stoking those inner fires, the sacred fires. What does your spirit really tell you that you really want to do in this lifetime? How can your life be well used? What is it that you're being pulled towards that you really want to do? I know myself these last few days, I've really kind of pushed myself a little bit to be a little more creative and to do a little more of the things that I've been thinking about and now put them in action. That's really what you want to do. The other thing I'm going to really be strong about in this energy, and I hope you all take away from this evening, is This is an energy where things will happen this week and happen quickly, just events or little conflicts or good news or whatever the event may be. This is an energy where things move. They're moving energy. Energy's moving. So when we do things quickly or there's things happening quickly around us, sometimes we neglect to ask the right questions. So I really implore you all or challenge you all for this week, and maybe it'll develop into be a long-term habit for you. Ask questions. And when you ask specific questions, ask the follow-up questions. Because sometimes we ask things and we don't follow up with it. We may ask a general question and get a general answer, but the universe, especially in a sky like this, with a week like this, wants us to be a little specific in our questions. I'll give you an example. You might ask someone, "Hey, are we going to the movies Thursday night?" And they'll say, "Yeah." And you're like, "Okay, good." But you don't ask, "Well, what time are you picking me up?" Or "Am I picking you up?" Or "What movie are we seeing?" You gotta close the deal in this energy. If you're negotiating something, if you are making plans, if you are making plans with yourself, if you are starting to put a project in movement, whatever the energy is moving, make sure that you ask specific and follow-up questions. Very, very important. Don't just ask the literal questions, ask the follow-up. It's gonna avoid a lot of issues. Definitely telling you that. Um, so Wednesday afternoon, we have a little bit of a reactivation of the squares from last week. So it gives us a chance to kind of clean up the loose ends if there's any left from last weekend's full moon in Sagittarius and the squares that were happening last week. Remember, this is just part of the deep movement that a lot of us have had and been having lately. So you may just have a few moments during the day on Wednesday where you got to kind of do a little sweep up or where you have to really think about your energy a little bit more and the energy from the past weekend and think about, okay, what do I really need to do with this? Am I fulfilling what I really wanted to do? Am I satisfying the need that came up, the revelation that came up from that beautiful full moon? And now I just want to talk before we go on to about Sunday. The energy is going to ease up Friday. Friday, the energy settles, and it's really a nice day to be creative. And also, if you need to have a conversation, you need to talk to the boss, you need to talk to your partner, you need to talk to your person you're in a relationship with. The 9th and 10th are great days for that. Sunday is a more powerhouse, intense day. So if you have something important to do, you need to talk to a doctor, you need to, finalize an agreement, you need to have a conversation with someone in the family. You want to do that Friday and Saturday. Saturday is a day for deep healing. Friday is a day of creativity and communication. So this is an energy Friday and Saturday of things that you may have missed out on before, or maybe delayed, or didn't do, or you didn't speak or say something you wanted to. And in this energy, Friday and Saturday, you have an opportunity to be creative enough so that it comes in a way that is more diplomatic, more compassionate, more healing. So that's a really good time to do those maybe uncomfortable tasks that we want to do. It's also on the comfortable level, on the more satisfying level, it's a great time to be creative, to do some writing, to do some sketching, to draw, to work on a project. I'm in the process of creating my second deck of oracle cards for all of you, and I've been slowly working on that. That would be a good day for me to do that if I have the time. So now the 11th is a big day. The 11th Sunday is a powerhouse day. It's a day where Pluto finally goes into Capricorn back again. It's a day where, we've got Mercury going into Gemini. It's going to help us connect all the dots. Venus starts to get into position to square Jupiter. It's a day when we can really overdo. It's an intense day. When we go to sleep on Saturday night, we're going to go to sleep in one energy because we're coming off that healing, that space of settling in on Friday and Saturday. And then when we wake up on Sunday morning, it's going to feel really different. The intensity comes in. We have more fire in the sky. Pluto is back in that Capricorn energy where we've had all the turmoil for the last 15 years. It's in the last degrees of Pluto where it's been, 2020, 2021, 2022. Need I say more? So this is the tying up of the loose ends between now and the end of the year. The best use of this energy is introspection. The best use of this energy, whatever feels right to you, whether it's meditation, yoga, writing, journaling, drawing, reading the cards, whatever the energy is that feels right and that you feel at home in your own soul space, that's the energy you want to embark on some kind of a devotional practice where you're doing that every couple of days or every day if you can or wherever until the end of the year, because the energy that's coming in is coming in so that we can finally connect the dots. There's things that have been shifting for a long time. There's things that we've been getting glimpses about, maybe flashes of intuition about. They're different for all of us. You all know what that is, or maybe you don't. Maybe you need to go into that space of soul and meditation and connection, and then it will come to you, I promise. So, as we all use this energy to connect the dots, it's almost like there's been a language that's been spoken to us over the last several years, but we can't really understand it. We think we know it. We're not really super sure yet, but we're almost interpreting it. These next 6 months are the interpretation months. They're the connect the dots months. They're the months where we need to really think about what has happened to us in the last couple of years. What has happened to us in the last 10, 15 years? Do we need to grieve something? Do we need to have a conversation with someone we haven't seen in 10 years? Do we need to close a chapter that we've been fearful about closing up until now? Pluto is using these next 6 months to tie up all of the loose ends. This is the planet of transformation, the planet of revelation, the planet of something has to die to be reborn, going back into a space where it was an energy it was in for a very long time, since 2008. It's going back there now to close out all those chapters. So use the energy well, because this is really about growing your soul forward. And we have some months to do this gradually. So Sunday is a day where we may start to gradually feel that. It's a day where action happens, movement happens, whether that's within us or actually in our lives in a practical way. And I suspect that when we go to work, say on Monday, the 12th, et cetera, we're going to start to see a lot of shifts happening with other people. If we are volunteers somewhere or we have a big family or whatever, Monday's the day when we're going to finally start to see, oh, wait, something's happening here. Because Sunday is the day when we just feel the energy. We feel the energy. All right. So let me look in the my comments. And if anybody wants to call in, the number is on the screen. It is 516-945-9099. Let us know what your revelations were in the full moon. What are you feeling? What's the energy feel like? Is it wonky for you? Is it good for you? Are you feeling like you have confidence to do something you haven't been able to do? Or are you feeling like, a little different? Oh, my phone is ringing. Hello. Hi, this is Georgia Rose. Welcome to the Soul Space.
Hi, how are you? It's Trish.
Hi, Trish. How are you? I always look up
I'm
at the
good.
speaker. It's like when you're a kid and they put a speakerphone on, you keep looking at the speaker, but the person's not there. Can you tell I'm not Megan Kelly?
I love your show tonight. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. So, Trish, do you have a question or just a comment? Like, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about something.
I would love, yeah, I definitely have a question. So there's a lot of energy around me with my family and a lot of craziness going on. And I'm just curious if, and it's funny because you said, watch your words today, because I was going to say something today. And I'm so glad you said that, because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just wait and see how this unfolds.
Yeah. And that's actually such a mature thing to do for our soul, is when we actually can wait. That's something when you're younger. I don't know how old you are, but I know when I was younger, I had such a hard time. I had to do it now, do it now, do it now. And there's something to be said sometimes about biding our time, right?
So I definitely appreciate those words.
Yes. So let's pull a couple of cards for you and see what's going on.
Oh, beautiful.
I feel like do you have a lot of people in your home?
No.
Because is there just a coming and going or something? Because I feel like you've got comings and goings.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that I pulled out tonight is, and I just ordered a whole new shipment. I recently, actually it was a while back now, I created an oracle deck called Circle of Light. And tonight I'm going to be using those cards along with my traditional tarot. I just cracked a brand new box of Circle of Light cards open.
Yay.
So we'll see how those are. So I'm going to just pick a Circle of Light card for you that will give me a theme kind of thing. And we'll see if it resonates a little bit. The Circle of Light cards that I created are 22 cards. 22 is a master number. And each one is designed to kind of bring some light to our soul. So let's see what we got going on for you. Okay. I'm going to pick this one for you. Number 18, which is signs, and signs of our gift of divine light. So I don't know if you have people on the other side, but I feel definitely a masculine energy on the other side that is really coming through. And the picture in this card is actually like a crucifix of light. So whenever I see this card, it also reminds me of the golden light of Christ.
Okay.
And in this card also, there's like a rainbow of refracted energy on this windowsill of this beautiful picture. So this male energy that's coming through for me, it feels very protective. For some reason, he's trying to like calm people down. I feel like he's almost saying, "Don't worry. A lot of it's kind of nonsense. Everything's going to be okay." That kind of thing, you know. Is this an energy? It feels like a father energy, but I'm also getting another energy of someone who may have been more like a partner to you. So I don't know if both are on the other side.
Yes.
Okay, that's why it's getting confused. Now, I feel like they're together, but not but not like they're hanging out all the time together. I feel like they both have separate work that they do, but I feel like for whatever reason, when it comes to family, they're definitely a unit.
Okay.
Now,
yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Now, and that helps me when you say, confirm, because then I know I'm going in the right direction. So does the number 18 have any significance for you?
No.
Okay. It may come to you after the reading. That's fine. I know sometimes it's hard to think. So the first card that I pulled out of the tarot was the Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like this is representative of you, like almost like, in the Queen of Pentacles, we have a queen on the throne and a lot of roses surrounding her. And to me, this is always the matriarchal energy. Like you have become the matriarch almost of your family. Like people come to you, you are the mom, But I feel like you just recently took that energy over in a more intense way.
Okay.
Is that because your mom is no longer here and that's fairly recent? I'm seeing like 2-3 years or something.
No, my mother is here.
Okay.
I just take care of her.
And so did something happen
dependent.
2 or 3 years ago that was a situational change?
COVID.
Okay. And so that's when you take care of mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because that's what I was seeing, like the shift in the energy, like now you are the matriarch, and this is like a 2 to 3 year energy for me where you really now are the person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it can be a little overwhelming for you because I have the 9 of Swords here, which is a card of like sleepless nights, kind of overwhelm. But the message of the 9 of Swords, Trish, is that in the overwhelm, there's gifts. It's just we have to change our perception because sometimes we feel overwhelmed with responsibility or family. But if we can just kind of change our perspective, there are gifts in that. There are times that we get that are very exclusive in a way because we get to have very intimate times sometimes with people, even when we're caring for them. So even sometimes in our sadness or our grief, there are moments that we actually can find joy. And that's what this card represents for me, because in the 9 of Swords in the tarot deck, the person is like unable to sleep. They're worried, but they're covered with a beautiful quilt that also has roses on it. And roses are symbolization of life, etc. So I'm going to add all this up in my head right now. And I'm going to tell you that Dad and the other male energy that's coming through for me, is there somebody with a J name?
Yeah, that wouldn't be the significant other, but yes, there's a J name.
Okay, because I'm getting a very strong J name. I'm getting that these two gentlemen are around you because of mom, and to give you strength. And so have conversation with them because they really are there to give you strength. And they're also showing me a message of, I'm seeing white flowers right now. They're showing me a message of, like, I can feel your energy is very much an energy of overwhelm, but almost like you feel defeated at times. Does that feel right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that defeat that you're feeling. They're coming in to almost try and lighten things. Like I can see light around them, and they're coming with this message from the other side of you're making it heavier than it has to be. Like there's joy that you're not seeing. And I know sometimes that can be a hard thing to hear, but that's absolutely what they're saying. They're sending a lot of love. They're almost like together with both arms outstretched, like making a circle for you, like you're in a circle of light.
Okay.
Do you have I feel like you have a question to ask one of them.
Well, it's not just about my mother and taking care of her. That doesn't really burden me. It's other family issues that are occurring.
Right. Well, it's everything all at once. Right. I feel like there was an unfinished business, though, that you have a question to ask someone. If you don't want to ask it on air, that's fine. I can always do it.
No. I can't really think of.
Okay. Because I feel like I feel like there's something that you think about often in your mind. I'm going to pull a card to confirm the reading. Yeah,
well, I guess maybe I want a question of my, if my son is going to, see the light and come back around to his.
Well, what I can tell you is
old self.
Yeah, what I can tell you is I just picked the 9 of Wands. A lot of 9s in this reading. 9s are completion. So whatever energy you're in is going to complete, I think, before the end of this year. Right? That can be a transitional energy, or it can be just something that transitions in the family. As far as like, it could be mom transitioning. I don't ever predict that. Or it could just be something changing with the situation. Maybe even she improves, who knows? But I definitely think something is in completion by the end of the year. And it's something that's very personal to you. Now, I can feel the overwhelm, but I think that as the energy as I see it is most of these hurdles are receding. You've been through the worst of it already. And I feel like these hurdles are now kind of receding to the back, like you're moving forward and they're fading. It may not feel like that yet, but I think that's what the energy is going to happen. I think these are fading. I think you're going to find that maybe you have one last big hurdle and then things really shift. A lot of shifts coming. As far as sun goes, what is your son's birthday?
December 19th. Oh, there's the 19th.
Oh,
okay. No, you said 18. I'm sorry.
18. Yeah, it was 18. Okay. Yeah, there's the Knight of Pentacles. That's him. Okay, I feel like there's tremendous potential here with Sun. Like he's got the whole world in front of him. He's just not looking up. I feel sadness around him. I feel like I'm seeing 2 years, and I know that sounds like a long time. I don't feel like he'll be in this place 2 years. I feel like things really shift for the whole family and personally for you by the end of the year. And then he has like a year and a half of just upward incline, very slow. Like he shifts very slowly. But, it's so funny because I graduated yoga teacher training this past weekend. And from a course I was taking since January. And my mentor, Jackie, my yogi, put something in my card that she gave me. And it said, the journey of 1,000 steps or 1,000 miles begins with one step. And I feel like that's so your son's energy right now, like baby steps, baby steps. So, yeah, so be there to just support that, as I know you will. But you have a lot of love around you, especially from the other side. I feel like your mother's energy is very loving, even if she's not always able to express it's there for you. And I think that's what the two gentlemen coming through for me, especially dad, it's definitely a dad type of energy. I feel like that's what they're trying to get you to see is like, there is moments of joy. Don't look only on the dark. Yeah. And you can find them when you look.
Right.
Now, I know your son is December. There's another male that's December. Is that one of the ones that have passed over? Someone else's December birthday.
No. My ex-husband is December.
Is it an anniversary?
And my nephew is December.
I'm getting a real strong December energy. I don't know. It could be an anniversary. It might be meaningful for you, but I'm definitely getting a strong December energy. So, just take that with you. Yeah, and maybe it's for the sun, but I don't think so because I've seen which card is representative of him for me. Definitely getting a strong December energy. Do you have a partner now?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I feel like yeah, definitely December energy
Go
is
ahead.
really around you, so maybe something occurs in December, I don't know, but I've got a lot of December energy coming in.
What were you gonna say? You feel like what when you asked me if I have a partner? What you because
I feel like there's
that's
December energy with a partner, maybe that's the ex-husband. I don't know, but I felt like December energy with the partner, and what I was gonna say was, do you have, residual energy with the ex-husband? Like, there's still things that you're entangled with? That not even romantically, but just stuff?
no.
Okay. So, I don't know, I'm just getting that December energy. Take
Mm.
that with you. It will what always happens in
Mhm.
readings is that,
Mhm.
it's gonna happen. You know, something's gonna come in that's a
Mhm.
December thing that you're like, "Oh, wow, she said something about that," you know? And I
Absolutely.
just pulled another card to confirm the reading, and the card I got was out of my own Circle of Light deck, card number 16, which is nature, and what is written underneath this is God's love is reflected in nature's light, and the card has all light coming down on it. So that's really appropriate for me when the message from the other side was, to find those moments of light, and especially with the other card that we got that has that beautiful light crucifix on it. So find light, even if that's, going for a walk in sunlight or a stroll by the water, but find light because it's there for you, Trish. You just have to really allow that to enter you. Even when you breathe, try and just breathe light through the heart space and it'll make you lighter.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you
Yes,
have
I
any other
appreciate that
question for
so much.
me?
I love that.
Yeah. I think that's what you need and find like that comfort and solace because I do feel like you've been through a lot of heavy energy, but
Mhm.
you're going to have the upswing is going to come. I think another couple of weeks and you're going to start to feel it relief and release. I think things do work out for the best. Sun is going to find his way. He just is it's like baby steps. It's what I feel is baby
Mhm.
steps.
Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot around me, and I have been
Yeah, and
putting it
it
up
may be
to
an energy of like
God in the light
yeah.
and trying to
But
just
you're
put it
gonna
into
find
his
the
hands
answers
and
in the light. I know that sounds cliche, but that's really what's coming
Mhm.
through. And also don't forget, sometimes we have to reverse and come through the same situations again and again because we're improving them. We just don't see it.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. It's putting
All
me through
right.
the same exact situations.
Yeah, exactly. So, and sometimes it's
I'm
karmic,
reliving it. So I'm hoping it's over by December.
Yes. Well, I think you're gonna start to feel the energy relief, especially this month. We have some more quiet energy with the cosmos, so that's gonna help you a lot too.
God, thank God.
Thank you so much for
Mhm.
calling in tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was wonderful. You're amazing.
Thank you. I enjoyed working with you. So let me go
Have a
back in our
wonderful
comments and see what
day.
else I got over
Mhm.
here.
Uh-huh.
Um, thanks so much, Trish.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So, good evening, Michelle. I have Janine. Janine says she's struggling a little bit. Well, I know Janine is a Capricorn sun. And so, of all of you that have planets, like a lot of planets in Capricorn, or you're a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, um, it's going to be feel a little wonky for you the next few days because Pluto is going back into Capricorn. So especially if your sun, moon, or rising is in those last degrees of Cap, you're really going to feel a change, a shift in intensity. Pluto can be a very heavy energy. I happen to have quite a few planets at the end of Capricorn. So yeah, it's not fun, but it's happening for our own good. Remember, the intention is always healing. What I will say to everybody who's being affected by this Pluto going back into Cap is what you want to remember is find that light. Pluto is going into an earth sign. Pluto can be a kind of a dark, heavy, malefic planet, but it also, the overall intention of it is that we feel that heaviness, so we have to face it. We have to face the dragon. We've also got the south node of the moon in Scorpio, which is another heavy energy, and that's finishing up its place in Scorpio, and it's going to be going to Libra in July. So we've got a couple of planets that can be a planet and a node that can be very heavy, finishing up the energy in signs that are all about deep, dark, taboo, um, going deep into the shadow work, revelations. So that can be heavy, especially when you have planets in those areas of the chart. Now, it's going to sound like a solicitation, and it's not, but the best thing to do is if you want a reading, astrology reading, go on Zencuda.com or my Facebook page, contact me. You can also reach me at connect@Zencuda.com, my email, and book a reading, because I do tarot and astrology. I read the astrology chart psychically. I'm an evolutionary astrologer. And the reason why I say that, especially now if you're struggling, is because when I read a chart, I can see exactly what your challenges are and what you came in this lifetime to do. So by knowing what your challenges are, it really shortens the learning curve. We don't have to go through so much turmoil of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what this energy is. I can't figure this out. Sometimes in a chart reading, you're going to find a lot of things are healed, because you finally understand your true nature. And we spend a lot of our time trying to figure out our nature, trying to figure out who we are, figure out what we really like, what we're really supposed to do. And in a chart reading, I can see the true nature. So it's a really healing way. Astro healing, evolutionary astrology is a really awesome way to find your way, especially in times like this when we're in a little bit of turmoil. So just wanted to give that little announcement. And of course, thank you everyone for watching. So Janine, don't struggle, find the light. And when you are in a little bit of struggle also, and you're feeling a heaviness, don't run away from it. Because all have a tendency, I do it myself, we all have a tendency to repress and ignore. And let me go out, let me go buy something, let me go eat ice cream, let me go, do whatever for this time being. Don't do that. This is an energy that wants you to sit with it. Sometimes that means, forgive me guys, but sometimes we do crappy things in life. We make wrong decisions. Sometimes crap's done to us. Sometimes we got to sit in the dirty diaper, to really understand why it happened and where it's supposed to bring us. Don't sit there overly long. You don't want to wallow, but sometimes we got to sit in our stuff, and examine it, take it out, look at it and be like, yeah, you know what? This stinks. I don't want to do it again. I know what I have to do. So that's this energy now, especially if you have planets in those energies of the chart. So don't be afraid to sit in your stuff, people. We need to do it. Okay, and stay in the light. It's been a heavy week. Jeez, it's been a heavy week. I had grief, actually, feeling grief, and I was in yoga, and a couple of girls said the same thing. All for no reason. There's always a reason, but it was almost like, I'm sitting at my table eating breakfast, and all of a sudden this overwhelming grief comes over me. I think I'm feeling the grief of the world. I think I'm feeling the grief of letting go of a lot of things in my life over the last couple of years that, even friendships sometimes, right? There's a lot of people that I love, but I'm just not really around anymore for different reasons. Doesn't mean I don't love them, doesn't mean I wish them not well or harm or anything, and I can miss those times, but I'm not that person anymore. I don't need to be there anymore. I don't need to, I have different boundaries now. I have different interests now. People grow apart, but I feel like we are grieving a lot of the changes that we've undergone in the last couple of years. There's been a lot of them. Even just the fact that, in my earthbound life, I'm a realtor, and I'm used to going into an office space and being around a lot of people and a lot of adrenaline. And now we do a lot of things over the computer. I kind of mourn that connection a little bit, So we could be grieving about anything, and feel your grief, bring it out, and let it just whoosh, go. Marilyn says that she finds the past full moon, a couple of people she was close to was off, almost belligerent and standoffish. Absolutely. What I'm going to tell you is these have been intense times. We all know that. We've got 6 more months of intensity as Pluto finishes up in Cap. People don't like to look at their stuff. People don't want to be introspective. People don't want to sit in quiet, right? I know people who have to have constant noise. One of the things I love about coming to Soul Space Studio and Strong Island Studio and Paradise Studio here in Massapequa is because it's quiet. Well, I walk in and Bobby's not blasting music or, it's quiet. And then on certain nights, he has live music here and poetry reading and all kinds of stuff. And it's really cool. But we're all creative people, not afraid to sit in our silence. When people can't do that and they need the chaos in order to function, they need the chaos in order to be the blanket over the things they don't want to look at, they take it out on other people. And that's everybody just throwing their wounds all over the sidewalk. We see it every day, and unfortunately, sometimes we have to have compassion for the compassionless. They don't mind doing that to other people, but we just got to kind of send a ball of love there, right? Send a big Z ball, right? My logo. Send a big Z ball of Z light, Zencuda room, and go in the other corner of the room. If they need your stuff, they'll ask you for it. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Michelle. Thank you. Michelle said she's been having premonitions all week. This is a highly psychic week. Said that on the last podcast. Said that on a couple of my videos on YouTube channel. Highly, highly psychic week last week. That energy is waning a little bit. But I will tell you, a lot of the planets are slowing down right now. We've got Neptune, Venus, and Pluto all going retrograde in the next week or 2 weeks. They're already slowing down. This makes the energy feel a little draggy, even though we've got planets of communication buzzing, buzzing, buzzings. So it's the outer planets are kind of in control now, but our personal planets are slowing down. What does that mean? It means introspectively, we're going to go through, we have a chance to work through our stuff, redo, reacclimate, readjust. This particular week is a big week of adjustment, but yet in the outside world, you're going to see a lot of activity. So that's the energy. It's kind of like an influx, and it can be a little overwhelming. Yeah, grief in your life. I get that, Michelle. It's been very overwhelming lately. I'm trying to direct people that I coach and people I do readings for, and just myself even. One of the things I'm finding is really consciously going into light and consciously, even just closing my eyes and breathing and pretending I'm breathing in light or breathing in light to my heart space, going out in the light all the time. One of the things I do in my home is, at Christmas time, we always have white fairy lights around. I have plants and, tall like ficus trees and things. And I put fairy lights on them that I put on all the time, every evening, even if I'm in my bedroom, just, falling asleep, I put the tree with the fairy lights on. I just try and like work in light all the time, have something, candle gazing. That really can help dispel that grief feeling and gratitude. We have to be in gratitude. And yeah, it feels grief. Oh, I'm sorry about your puppies. Oh, that always makes my heart hurt. I'm gonna send your puppies love. Yeah, and I know Elaine is on watching. It's all in the Reading Tarot. Um, Definitely very intuitive this past week. And use that. When we have those flashes of intuition, we always are, a lot of times our first energetic imprint is, oh no, that's not real. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. Or oh no, that's a weird thought. No, don't do that. When you have a flash of intuition, sit with it for a minute. Slow your roll, as my yogi teacher Liz says, slow your roll and sit and think about what just happened. Write it down, be in it. What does it mean for you? What is the universe trying to tell you to do? I don't know why, but today on the way to the studio, I was very compelled to take a different route. And I did. And I don't know why, but I bet you there's a reason. I don't need to know. I just know they wanted me to go that way, and I did. So really listen to that. Maybe if I went the other way, I would have been late or had an accident or been stuck in something or seen something I didn't like or whatever. So really listen to the intuition right now. So we only have a few minutes left, about 10 minutes left on the show. I'm going to pick some cards for all of us for the week ahead. Also, if you want to see what your reading is for the week ahead, you can go on Zencuda on YouTube. Zencuda on YouTube. And we do Tarot Tuesdays where I do pull cards and do a reading for all astrological signs. And then I also give you a tip on how to read tarot so that if you are trying to read tarot and do something for yourself to get into your own soul space and be more intuitive, every week you get a little tip on things that have helped me over the years with reading tarot. So first I'm going to pull one of my beautiful soul cards, Circle of Light. These will be available on the website. We sold out, so I just did another huge order. So these will be available if you want my Circle of Light cards. And I'm going to pick one of them, and then I'm going to pick a tarot card. So these Circle of Light cards are beautiful, if I do say so myself. They're all original to me. I wrote everything that they're, oh, wow, we got 16 nature again. I wrote all of the things that are in the booklet with them. And the Circle of Light cards, what I like to do is I like to put them in a circle. They're 22 cards, and I'll take one of my crystals and spin it, and that's the card of the day. So beautiful cards from Zencuda. So 16, nature, and we were just talking about light on the show so much. We had just picked this card before, and it says, God love is reflected in nature's light. And I'm just going to read you the little paragraph that I wrote for that particular card when I channeled these cards. And And 16 is nature. The heart of God is reflected in nature all around us. Nature is the masterpiece that God has given us to reflect his love for us. Think of the beauty in the world and how much love is put into the creation of such things for us to behold. Know you are loved when you see a beautiful sunset, sunrise, or vista that resonates inside your soul. Does walking by the water or in the woods calm you? This is because you feel God's love in the creation of such beauty. In this way, nature balances and connects us with the heart light of our Creator. This connection is called grounding in the earth. This card is an indication that you need to spend time in nature connecting to the Creator. You will receive clarity and peaceful energy when you ground in these beautiful places. So I hope those words, resonated with everybody. And that's really what we need to do, is stay in that beautiful energy. And now I'm going to pick a tarot card for tonight, just to see what the energy is. We'll pick a tarot card. Because they're telling me to do it this way. I'll pick this. And I picked this card before for Trish. This is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card that allows us to look out over the world and see our gratitude, see what we have to be grateful for. If you look at this card, we're filled all with golden yellow light. The wands in tarot are movement, they're action. And as I spoke much about on tonight's Soul Space, there's a week of activity and action. And in the card, you see this person looking out over the horizon as though everything is possible and all these golden land in front of him. This is a card that anything is possible if we stay in the light, and that the future is ours to create, not just become a part of, but to actually create and work with. So there you have it, guys. Stay in nature, go into God's light. God's love is reflected in nature's light, and stay in the light so that we can really see and plan and create our future. What is it they say? The best way to plan the future is to create it. So let's try and do that and come out of some of that heavy energy that we've been having. I love each and every one of you, and you can find me on Zencuda on YouTube. I put videos up there all the time. If you subscribe to the channel, you get the notifications. I promise I don't sell your information. We don't solicit you ever. It's really a community I'm trying to build so that we can do lives there and comment. You can also see me. The replays of the show are always on that channel. Also on the Strong Island channel. You can find me on Facebook on Soul Space Zencuda. And you can also find me on Instagram at Zencuda Official. So please join our community. I'm going to send hearts up to all of you. We had quite a few people in the Soul Space. If you could share the show, I would love it. We're really trying to build this community so that we can all, support each other on the journey. If you have any questions or anything that you'd like to see me talk about on a show, message me. connect@zencuda.com is my email, or you can just comment in any one of my posts on social media and I will answer. Sometimes it takes me a little while. I may answer you late at night after I end my day, but I will answer. So thank you, everybody. And I'll be back here next Monday in the Soul Space. If you'd like to be a guest on the Soul Space, PM me and we will get you on the show. Next week, we are going to have, on the 19th, we're going to have Aaron Bartles on. He was the winner of the free reading, and we're actually going to read him on air. So you want to tune in that night. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching and supporting my work.